And welcome back to more Super Smash Bros. So last time we got a little bit over halfway through one-player game with Pikachu, and this time we're hopefully going to get through the rest of it, starting out with a fight with 8 Kirbys, each representing one of the original 8 characters. So first of all, 2 moves I did not go over are rolling and shielding. So if you hold R, at least on a classic controller through the Wii Virtual Console version, I'm not sure what the actual button would be on a Nintendo 64, but if you hold the R button, you can shield and then you can tap a direction in order to roll. When shielding, you can also press A to grab, or you can also press Z, or in this case ZR or ZL, in order to just grab an opponent. Unlike later Smash Bros. Games, I don't think it's actually possible to throw characters up or down. There's only side throws, which is kind of weird. So to demonstrate, that's the forward throw of Pikachu, and the B-Trolls are doing a good job here, to the point where I can't even show off the back throw. That's the back throw for Pikachu. So yeah, it's a pretty comparable control setup to later games, but it is a little bit awkward how so many moves are just missing, basically. So the crowd is cheering for us. Here's a case where not having a side special really hurts, because Pikachu's side special of Skull Bash is actually really good for recovery, so we could definitely have used that to get back on the stage. Also, there's taunting with the D-pad on a classic controller. I'm not sure how that's mapped for an N64, though, so I've never played the original version, I've only played it through Virtual Console as a heads up. So our next opponent is Samus Aran. The gimmick of Brinstar is the lava or acid randomly rises and lowers, which can be very difficult in terms of like meteor smashes or sending opponents straight downwards, because there technically is a floor down there and it'll like bounce character upwards if they fall into the acid. So we basically have to try to aim upwards or to the sides, not down necessarily. Recoveries also feel weird because you can't jump off a ledge, you can only like roll back on or attack, so it's a little bit more limited. Yeah, overall it is kinda cool how much has stayed the same, and how much they got right on their first attempt. One thing I will say, and I'm not sure if this is because it's the Virtual Console or if the original was like this too, I sometimes get dropped inputs with this game. It's not normally too bad, but it is noticeable from time to time. And that's that. We got Fighter's Stance because we taunted at the end of the fight, by the way. So this fight is a little bit intimidating. The gimmick of Metal Mario is he is very, very hard to knock off the stage. He's so heavy that regular attacks barely budge him unless he's at really high percents. So there are a lot of ways to quickly deal with Metal Mario as other characters, like Yoshi's egg move is actually really good because then Mario falls so fast that he can't recover. Pikachu doesn't really have great options, even throwing him off the stage isn't super effective. Unintentional pun, by the way. So yeah, 200%, and he's barely budging. So items also aren't going to be great. The key is to just basically clock enough damage to knock him away to the point where he can't get back onto the stage. So no items. That was our only bonus though, sadly. Bonus Stage 3 is a little bit different than the other two, as it's actually fixed. Each character goes through the exact same bonus stage, so no need to show these off. By the way, you can't even practice these as far as I can tell, so thankfully there aren't the differences to show. This part here is a little bit tricky because of these little bumpers. Some characters have a much harder time with that. I find characters like DK, because of their larger hitboxes, tend to struggle there, but Pikachu can get through no problem. We do get a bonus score by completing all of these, so if you're going for a high score, you definitely want to try to complete each bonus stage. So we have to fight 30 polygon characters, and these are all based on other characters, so like that one is Yoshi on the right there, the one that kind of looks like a dinosaur. So yeah, these are all based on other characters, and yeah, we just have to kind of survive a gauntlet of all of them. They're pretty easy to knock off the stage. By the way, I should have mentioned this sooner, but in the group fights, like with the Yoshis and Kirbys, I do find they're a little bit lighter. They're a little bit easier to knock off the stage because you fight so many of them. If we die, it won't be the biggest deal because we actually don't need to get through on one continue, but it would be nice, but I don't think it's likely. I usually require a continue. Unlocking one of the bonus characters took a while as a result. There's Blastoise. I like how they're just like sprites and not even character models. Again, it really is impressive what they managed to accomplish. Also, no air dodging. So in later games, you could press the shield button to do a little air dodge. You can't do that, so I find air fighting to be a little bit scarier because there's no way to like quickly dodge. If we die here, we do have to restart the fight, so this would arguably not be a particularly good fight to lose on. Hypothetically, losing at the next fight might not be a bad idea. Like, just intentionally losing a stock at the beginning of the next fight, just to reset everything might not be a bad call. Yeah, other than that, yeah, we're just fighting through basically copies of all 12 characters. We have these little items to help us. Not super helpful. In the case of Goldeen, he just literally uses Splash. That's more Magikarp's thing, I thought. Also, oh, that's bad. Also, the AI can taunt in this game, which I don't think they can do in other games. So we will have to use a continue, sadly. So because we had to use a continue, our score will not be as good, but oh well. One thing worth noting is actually the plot of the game, in air quotes. The plot of the game, as evidenced by the opening movie, is basically that these are a bunch of toys that have come to life. Hence, Master Hand bringing little dolls of the different characters out of a toy box. Interestingly, the characters on the opening movie at the very beginning are completely random, so that's kind of a neat little detail. That's not necessarily going to be the same combination of two characters. I like how the baseball bat sound is actually the same, roughly. The KO bat, or home run bat actually, basically gets an instant KO, but it has a long wind-up, so it's a trade-off. It's a risk versus reward. The hammer is from Donkey Kong, the arcade game. In later games, the head of the hammer can fall off. I don't think it can in this game, which is actually a relief in cases like this. But yeah, this stage here, Battlefield, and also the Metal Mario stage, are actually not playable in Versus mode, so they are only playable here. There's one more stage that is also exclusive, similarly, and I think you can guess what it is based on what's left. Why am I getting so many Goldeen? Like, that's the worst option. Also, I don't know if you can grab items in midair in this game. Like, that Pokeball up there, I would try to do a midair grab when jumping up to the platform, just to make things a little bit easier than having to land on the platform and manually pick it up. This is a Maximum Tomato from Kirby that restores a lot of health and could not have come at a better time. So we have Link here, roughly. Yeah, it's kind of weird having Battlefield as a single-player only stage. Oh, that's bad. The Polygon picked up the stars, so we can't get any invincibility. That's a little rough to deal with, because then you just have to avoid combat for a little bit with that character. Yeah, 30 isn't too bad, but we even made it through without losing a stock because of that tomato, which was nice. That should do it. And with that, we only have one stage left. Alright, so this is like the main antagonist of Smash Bros. In general, Master Hand. This is Final Destination, by the way. Again, not actually playable outside of this. I'm sure you could use like action replay and whatnot to add these stages in, now that I think about it, but normally I don't think there's a way to actually play these. That's a really bad start. Master Hand's moveset is relatively the same across every game. He has some moves that I don't remember him performing in later games, so it kind of threw me off the first time I did this fight. I ended up having to play through multiple classic mode runs to unlock everything for this, so I am relatively warmed up for this playthrough, but even then I am definitely having some trouble unlearning a lot of muscle memory from later games. In terms of attack patterns and just basic movement controls. But yeah, overall this playthrough went pretty smoothly, I say, as I get hit by that attack. I definitely forgot to use like special moves, and I definitely forgot to use smash attacks more. So yeah, definitely not the best playthrough in the world, but we made it relatively in one piece. There we go. Never mind. There we go. So, our final score is almost 500,000 points. Not bad. I actually really like the credits in this game, because you can actually press A to highlight the exact role of each person in the credits, using this little cursor. One other cool detail is it actually prevents spoilers. For example, if you select a name that worked on one of the hidden characters, it actually will just list question marks, so it doesn't spoil it. For example, like, over here with the actress for Kirby and Ness, it would just say question mark if you haven't unlocked Ness yet, which is really nice that they actually try to minimize spoilers, even within the credits themselves. It's a really cool idea. Same goes for Shigesato Itoi here. It would just say question mark instead of just saying Earthbound. It's sort of weird seeing such short credits in these older games before games start to have like insanely long credits like they do now. Yeah, overall, this is a pretty fun time. Definitely not my favorite Smash Bros. Game, but I think it's worth experiencing. Unfortunately, it is difficult to play nowadays because it is not on the Wii U Virtual Console, only the Wii Virtual Console, which shut down. And for reaching the end of Classic Mode, you get a special image for each character. So that is also one of the other big changes, but other than that, there isn't much that changes between Classic Mode or one-player game mode runs. But with that, we are going to show off the bonus stages next time, or at least start going through them, because there are quite a few for each character. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Smash Bros.